Okay, I'm going to be showing you step by step guide on how you can raise your day old chicken from the beginning. So the first step is to look for where you can get a house for them. So once you look for where you want to raise them, it might be inside your spare room or anywhere. The second step is to do what? To look for a alternative heating for them, because during their childhood they need heat, because you are going to be making use of charcoal too. That charcoal pot, you are going to be using it to heat them. But here, I'm trying to provide a alternative heat for them, which is the electricity mix. If you know that your electricity is stable, then you can just work with some electrician. Me, I have the idea. That is why you are seeing me doing this myself. All right. So I'm trying to make a alternative heat for them for the electricity mix. You know that heat bulb. So whenever there is electricity, I'll be able to generate the heat from there for them, because during their childhood, like I've said before, they need somewhere that they can brood and heat them. All right. So after I'm done now, we need to pack out the necessary things inside the place we want to use. You can see here that this is an alternative visitors toilet that I'm presently using here. All right. So we are still at the step 2, though. I'm still setting up the electricity. I want to connect the wire properly, so we'll be able to get a better solution and a better result from doing that. So that is what I'm presently doing now. So you need to take your time. Please, if you don't have the idea of electricity, please don't even go there. Don't do it at all. I won't advise you to do that. All right. So let's quickly get this done. While I'm still doing this, make sure that your bed is on its way. It depends, because me, the day I order for my chick is still the same day that I got it. So but you need to prepare for them, right? That is still the step 2. We are going to be talking about the step 3 now. After you must have done after you must have I'm still checking it. I'm still doing my background check about the electricity that I fixed. So that is my cutout. I make sure that everything is connected. Okay, so once there is light now, you can see now that I'm done with the electricity. You can see now that that is what I'm going to be using to generate heat for them. So when it's during the night, I'm going to be making use of the charcoal pot to heat them, to make sure the place is very, very heat. All right, you can see that my electricity is now done. You can see everything is in place. Make sure that you tighten everything for you to be able to be sure when you are not around, and make sure that the heat that you are generating from the electricity is near to the ground. Make sure it's near to the ground so they can feel the heat. You can see that the kilometer, the distance between them is not that far. All right, so let's go to step 3. Now step 3, you need to pack out everything in where you want to use and clean up the whole place to make the place lively for the chicken, right? So here I'm doing my cleanup. I make sure that I use the toy soap and the liquid. You can see it here, the toy. So step 4 is to do what? Add the toy to the water you want to use to clean the house, because of some bacteria and some infections that you might not likely to see. So make sure that the water you want to use is also clean. We are still doing the cleaning up for their arrival, because you need to be very, very sure the whole place was swept very well and was kept tidy for them. So once they get there, they'll be able to feel at home, right? Now, I'm presently watching it. Make sure every place was watched thoroughly without letting anywhere unattended to, because it is very, very much important you watch everything. You can see me in this tutorial now. I make sure that all the places that I want to raise these beds are watched. While I was expecting my bed, it's not a must that it must be the day of arrival that you watch this thing. It's not a must. but make sure that you've already prepared everything ahead of time, so it won't be like impromptu for you. That is why I'm presently using this Dettol to make sure I watch everything, right? So now the step 4 is what we are presently doing now. I'm still watching all the places to make sure it is cleaned up. I even clean the wall, should in case of some uninfected maybe some disease, right? So the step 5 now is to do what? After you must have watched everything and the floor is dry off, the next thing is to prepare their floor. Initially you are to use newspaper. You know, these beds are day old, so they are very very young, so that they will not feel cold on the tiles or wherever you put them, right? So I was supposed to use a newspaper, but in absentia of the newspaper, I make sure that I use some handouts and some other papers that are available in my room. I make sure that I used it. So you must prepare for everything on their arrival. I've already gotten my beds, I've already ordered for it, but I need to prepare for them. So these are the things you need to watch out for. So presently now, the step 5 is to do what? To use newspaper, or in absentia of newspaper, you can also use if you have the bag of rice, you can also use it. But I also prefer this paper because it will not make it cold for them to work. There won't be any transformation of cold from the thighs to their leg directly, right? So that is what you want to do in this step 5. So please be taking note of what I'm doing presently. Be taking note of it. It is very very much important. All right, so you want to make sure that your all the things you want to use is ready, because my chicks are on their way to my distance. So that is the window. If I'm to close it now, you can see how it is. I've already covered the window. Now the step 6 is to watch their feed. You need to buy a feeder for them. That is very very much important. You can still make use of tray to feed them, but their drinker is very very much important. Now you need to add glucose again. Make sure your water is clean. Add glucose to it so it will give them strength. Now this is my bed. I told you that my bed is now ready for their new home, which is the last process. But that is still not the last process, because after you must have add glucose to their drink, make sure that you give them the drink before giving them their food, so they'll be able to drink that water. It will be able to strengthen them. You know, glucose is there already, so it will be able to give them energy. You can see that they are very very excited to be inside a new room after they've already brewed them. But we'll continue the brooding here, so we want to make sure that everything, there is no casualty at all, there is not anyone that die or anything. I've checked them properly. I got 2 different breed, which is broiler and noiler, right? So there are 2 different breed. So this is me arranging them to their new room, and they was like, what is this? You know, they've passed through a lot of stress, so I want to make sure that they want to drink that water first. That is the first thing I want to be sure of. So after some minutes, you will leave them. You must have closed. Please always make sure you close the window. I show you the other time, but I forgot to tell you. Make sure you close the window so there won't be any space of what breeze coming in. So the place will be heat even though you close the window. You can see now that they are presently doing drinking the water, because they have passed through a lot of stress today. They've passed through a lot of stress, right? So now going to their, what's it called, their drink. You can see it's there. You can see, don't add any drug yet. Just add that glucose. Let them drink it for the first day. And the next thing is their feed, right? You must have gotten their feed. So now, I told you not to go give them food immediately. Let them drink that water to have energy. So I think for this food, you can use ultimate starter. This is ultimate starter that I brought. I'm not recommending any this thing for you guys, but just use ultimate. That is what I use to raise my day old chick. I think they love it and they grow speedily. So after a few minutes now, I now entered their room to give them this feed. So they are very, very excited. You can see the way they run into it. You can see the way they are eating because they must have been starving, right? So I need to pick some other peoples that are not around, put them to where that feed is centered so they can eat, enjoy themselves. So this is the straightforward method you want to use to do what? To raise your day old chick from A to Z. Then I'm going to be, there are some, what's it called? There are some drugs, antibiotic, you are going to be adding to their water from day 2 to day 5 or to day 6. I'm going to be leaving the name of the antibiotic for you. So you too can become a farmer. You can become a poultry farmer, or this one is just for a tutorial purpose. And if you have any questions, you can do what to drop it under the description box of this button. I'm going to be leaving the name of the drug. Should in case I forget, please just add it at the comment section. That was the name of the antibiotics that you are supposed to be adding to their water. So this is just the last process here, where you want to give them their feeds and their water, and before you know it, your chicks will be doing great. They will be fine and everything will work well. So this was the night. Now you can see that I am back to check them at the night. I've prepared their eat. You can see it here. Instead of me using my charcoal pot, I presently use what? I presently use my pot. So I arrange some charcoal inside, then lighten it. So I'll be able to generate a heat for them. Then make sure there is light, right? So make sure there is light in there. And what you want to do again is to make sure that the heat is sufficient for them. Make sure it is a heat generated from charcoal, should in case of there is no light. All right, so thank you guys for watching this video to the very end. I will see you in my next tutorial. And please do want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If this video have helped you in one way or the other, please subscribe.